Hey everybody, welcome back to Glowframe. This is your host Jesse. Hi, how you doing? So today, I was thinking I really have the urge to read some Reddit stories. Neighbors from hell. Let's get into it. Sorry, folks, it's my neighbor's turn to use the sun. That is the title of this Reddit story. Sorry, folks, it's my neighbor's turn to use the sun. Great start. So, if you could all just bring in your washing and be more mindful of the apparent schedule, that would be great. I'm guessing that's what the neighbor is telling OP. I live in a house in a block. We all have our own spacious garden, separated by 6 feet fence. And with that, we all have our own washing line. No shared appliances either. I was hanging out my second washing of the day, and this lovely lady stomped up to the fence to demand I bring my washing in, as I am a inconsiderate arsehole. That's the way that OP has spelled it is a resemblance of the Irish way of spelling it. And hers would take longer to dry now. I'm just imagining a very angry woman just marching up to somebody's fence and then somehow climbing and getting her head over the fence or even just through the fence. I'm just imagining like a fence that has gaps in between, like a few inches of gaps. So you just see somebody's eyeball just go right in between the fence lines and just go, "Hey, take your washing off your line. It's going to make my washing take longer." I'm like, that doesn't. If all of your backyards are facing the sun, it doesn't matter. This woman is just this neighbor is just bored. It's just bored. Okay, let's continue. My reply: it's hotter than Satan's behind crack today. I think we'll be fine. Was apparently too much for her to handle, and she screamed she'll be phoning the landlord to complain. Is she entirely serious? And it says in quotations in the bottom, she complains about everyone in the street. So at this point, her ridiculous complaints are only hurting herself. Who does this? Really? You know, sometimes I go through these Reddit stories and I just think a handful of these Reddit stories have to be storytellers, have to be people that are just typing up stories and then posting them. Not real. This sounds ridiculous. How do you think that somebody else's washing is going to take up more heat so that your stuff dries slower? How do you think that works? It's like the sun beaming down all the energy and just saying, I have 10 houses in front of me with 10 backyards, and 3 of them have laundry outside. Let me give you all of my energy. Energy. And then nobody else gets it. Just you 3. And then when you 3 go and collect your stuff, I will start sending it to another house. Let's read some comments. Every once in a while, I go outside and run the vacuum cleaner over the driveway just to ensure that the neighbors never talk to me, seem as weird as possible so that your neighbors never interact with you. I agree. Another comment says, my neighbor does this, but his piece de resistance is that he only wears his underpants and Crocs. Such a delight. The person underneath that is saying, please say it's thongs. Please say it's thongs. And then there's a picture of Borat wearing those like not the mankinis, the one where the bathing suit is like goes up to your shoulders and then down, and it's kind of I was just talking about boxers and about men wearing nothing but underwear when they go outside. Oh my god, the entire story went from neighbors looking through fences and telling people to bring in their washings to now everybody talking about men only wearing underwear when they go outside. Okay, let's just move on to another one because I'm starting to get a little traumatized from this. I do not want to be thinking about that. Okay, I think we can squeeze in one more. Title: how much privacy are neighbors owed in a backyard fight? None. My answer: none. If you're outside and you're having an argument, you best believe it, I'm going to be poking my head out of the window, putting my ear up to the window or door and I'm going to be listening and probably having a snack and eating it too, because that is fun. Okay, let's get to the story. My spouse and I spent a lot of time outside because we have a young kid. We sit on our screened porch, a lot, grill, garden, let our kids splash around in the kiddie pool, etc. We're honestly pretty low-key. No parties, no huge groups of people over, no blasting music until midnight. We're usually inside by 7 and in bed before 10. Our houses are maybe 40 feet apart, and the fence to our yard are basically back to back. So hearing people outside is just part of living here. Alright, sounds like a regular neighborhood. If people are on their porch or in their yard, you can hear conversations sometimes, especially in the summer when everyone has their windows open. Today our neighbors came outside fighting, and after we had already been outside for a while, I ignore it and continue playing with my kid. When I suddenly hear the neighbor yell, "These nosy, fudging neighbors won't go the fudging inside so we can fudging talk. How about you go inside so you can fudging talk? Why do you have to go outside? Go inside." The thing is, we were literally already outside minding our own business before they even came out there. We weren't sitting there trying to eavesdrop, trust me. Given the option, I wouldn't be out here playing Floor is Lava in 100-degree weather either, but here we are. Why are you playing that outside? I guess it gives the atmosphere, you know, the feeling of lava if you're outside in 100-degree weather. Also, I would definitely be that neighbor that slightly opens up the door, slowly gets outside, and just looking and listening to the entire argument. It's so fun, try it. I mean, yeah, I'd be lying if I say we haven't overheard their fights before, because they fight outside a few times a week. That is okay. I'm not a couples therapist, but a few times a week? Are you being generous with the few times? Or are you underestimating it? Again, I'm not a couples therapist. Don't like the fact that they're arguing a few times a week or doing it outside. If you don't want people to hear, go back inside. If somebody is yelling, locking each other out of the house, slamming doors, and peeling out of the driveway next door, that just took a whole nother level. Okay, locking each other out, slamming doors, and then driving very dangerously off the driveway. I'm not a couple therapist, but they definitely need one. People are going to hear it. We just ignore it and continue about our business. That definitely won't be me. I'll be definitely looking at that shit. I'll be like, oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. He's getting out of the traffic. Oh my god, he almost hit that trash can. I've just locked him out of the house again. I'll be doing that. Now let's go back to the story. But I'm genuinely confused by the expectation here. Are we supposed to pack up our kid and go inside every time they decide to have an argument on the back porch? No. They want to have an argument outside, guess what? People right here. Nobody even has to be outside. If it's hot, and of course all the windows are open, people can hear from their windows. Window wide open. Neighbor goes outside, has an argument with their significant other. I am definitely going to be able to hear it, and I'm all for it. I am bored. Give me some entertainment. I love the drama. Now I feel weirdly self-conscious about simply being outside at all, which honestly pisses me off because our porch is basically our unwind space, and we literally just bought a small pool for the summer. Hell, when they come outside and start having an argument, let's just sit in the pool, all nice and cool, and then let's look at the neighbors, and let's make bets. Who's gonna lock who out first? Who's gonna have to climb over the window? And who's gonna speed off? Am I crazy, or is it unreasonable as hell to expect neighbors to leave their own yard so you can privately argue outside? If you're outside, it's not private. If you're outside, it's not private. Go back inside. I've had neighbors that have had full-on arguments outside, and we share the property. And I always stick my nose, my face, my ears to the window or the door, because arguments are very interesting. That is it for today, so I'll catch you all later. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to me. I'll see you all in the next parade. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.